And we're rolling.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Dexter Wesley of the New Experience. Can you just kind of introduce yourselves and...
Mikey, drums.
Dexter Wesley, lead guitar, vocals.
Mike Rock, bass guitar, backing vocals.
Big Rob, head roadie and tech rep.
Okay. Now, Dexter, I read that you started your love of music on a plastic trumpet, and you basically played that until it broke.
Yeah.
What made you pursue the guitar, instead of the trumpet, even though you didn't actually have your brother's blessings? Apparently,
Well,
they really wouldn't let you play on theirs.
I grew up in a household that was just full of music. My brothers played, my uncles played, and my mom and them, they always had the blues going. So one day my brother brought a Jimi Hendrix record home, and I started sneaking his guitar and play it. Try to play it anyway, break the strings on it, and I just kind of grew and then manifest. And one day I went back and picked up the guitar, and I happened to sound like Jimmy, so. So here we are. Yeah.
What brought the four of you together? How does everybody else fit in?
Well, actually, I met Mike. I think it was back in the '80s. Right?
Yeah, I had about 25, almost 25 years ago or something.
And about the same time I seen your ad, his picture popped up. And so I contacted him, and we kind of end up hooking up, and then we got together, and then we got him. So we're very, very young. We're babies.
Well, I've only been messing with it for about 4 years now, but I remember the Obama rally and how everything went, and how it went from a little small-time garage band to now it's a professional production. He's got bars and people asking, waiting for him to play. People are talking about they can't wait to hear him. He rocked out at Comfest this past Comfest. He completely and totally leveled the crowd. Nobody knew it wasn't Jimmy. I've actually had a couple of the stoners out there say, "Is that Jimmy on stage?" He definitely has come a long way in the 4 years that I've been working with him, and I do everything I can to help him out. I get called in, hours in advance. "Rob, come on, let's go. It's concert time." "Okay, let's go." But he really is talented. He really does do really good music. It's the best thing I've heard. As far as Jimmy covers go, and him doing his own stuff, and it's still sounding like Jimmy. It's beautiful.
Well,
You got something pink on your face, brother.
Dexter's infectious.
Definitely.
Been around the guy.
He's a man.
Yeah, he
Definitely the
transmits
man.
all the proper vibes.
I want to go on record and say, number one, I've been in the music business since I was 13. I booked probably 500 bands and taken note of probably 100 really good guitar players. And there's no guitar player better than Dexter Wesley. That's a fact. And I'm glad to get this gig.
At the Obama rally, he did something really nuts. He took 4 hours practicing this the day before, and then another 2 hours the day of practicing this. And on the spot at the Obama rally, he played the Star Spangled Banner with his teeth in its entirety. He didn't miss a single note, didn't miss a single key. He was toned the whole time, and was able to do this. And the crowd lit up. No one can sit there and hear something awesome like that. Like, oh my God, is he playing that with his teeth? No one can hear that, whether they're a fan of that type of music or not. No one can hear that and not say something about it.
Is that on video anywhere?
Actually, you don't have the DVDs anymore?
No. We somehow with the camera did.
I recorded this video on my laptop. I had a DVD capture run into a straight old school tape video recorder that had an out on it.
Yeah.
And ran it, and I got lucky. The DJ that was working the sound at the place let me get a direct tie-in to the board. So, the video quality was crap, but the sound quality was just perfect. It was absolutely crystal clear, perfect. And to see it when, I did the original editing and the original post-processing, and I made the original DVDs for it, to see it was great. To see it live was a wonderful thing, but to see it on video and it still feel the same way, that is an awesome thing to see. And that's something that a lot of artists don't have anymore. They don't have that showmanship that, you know, I don't care if you're listening to me live or you're listening to me on an album, I'm just as good. And the ones that do, well, lip syncing becomes a problem for those people. Not here.
I have a feeling though. Don't feel like you missed history, because I got a feeling it's going to happen again. You know.
Most definitely, I agree.
Over and over again.
Every night.
So,
The Confess video was good.
You liked
I
it?
shared that. I
Yeah.
watched it and shared it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Now, a funny story on that one, a funny insider story on that one. I don't know if it was on video or not. Almost 3/4 of the way through, I run up on the back of the stage and run up behind his amp. Funny enough, my iPhone was sitting on the top of his amp the entire time. Before the beginning of the show, when I set it up there out of my way, to about a half an hour later when I noticed, wait a minute, where's my, oh no, and ran back up there and got back up there, and it sat there the whole time, and it was also recording.
Yeah.
I don't have that audio anymore, but it was good. I had set it down and recorded, put a recorder on it so I could, you know, hear the sound as he was checking. I could come back and listen to it later, make sure there wasn't anything off, and you know, no voltage noise or nothing like that. Because that's my job. I have to make sure he sounds right.
Now, who do you consider your inspirations other than Jimmy? Obviously.
Other than Jimmy, well, this is Sly and the Family Stone. Well, you know, when I was little, I was one of the Jackson 5s.
oh, me too.
You know, B.B. King, Bobby Blues Bland. You know, my mom and dad used to listen to them. Al
Grover
Green.
Washington.
Yeah. And then Humble Pie. What's the group that makes Smoke on the
Oh,
Water?
the Faces.
And,
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple. David Boy. I mean, my brothers didn't listen to everything. So it's kind of all sprinkled in there, you know.
Everything on stacks.
I'm sorry to say I'm the only member of this group that wasn't alive when all that stuff was famous, but I still know about most of it, and it's all classic, and it's the same type of thing I like to listen to on a Sunday when I'm, you know, driving in my car or going somewhere. I'll listen to something like that because it's nice, it's relaxing, it's not all, ooh, yeah, gonna do drugs, you know, the stuff that we hear nowadays, and then undertones of adolescent things and, you know, stuff that kids want to hear. This is music that, you know, an adult can listen to, be happy listening to it, don't have to be embarrassed to have somebody they know hear them listening to it. It's good music. And if he ever were to make it big, that would be the only thing I would listen to. I gotta pump you up sometime, buddy. Got to.
Yes.
What would you consider the most memorable moment in your career? And you're all welcome to answer this too. I saw some pretty cool stuff on your page that you had accomplished.
Well, one of the things I'll never forget, I forget where the show was, but I remember what happened. I was going to fall down on my knees while I was playing the guitar, right? And I went to raise the guitar off, and the strap came on, and the guitar flew out. And I ended up having to make it up. I was just throwing the guitar off and saying, ooh. That's something I'll never forget. And I just happened to pull it off. That was nice. Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty much. What about you?
Tonight, baby, tonight.
Tonight? I know you got a million stories.
Oh, I got a million of them. I'll tell you, I was in, and I guess I still am. We're in the Screaming Urge. We're one of the first punk bands in Ohio. We just had a reunion show in July. Packed Care Bar, and as crazy as it is, you know, as much as we've done, it was the most successful show we've ever played. So, you know, maybe we'll do it again in 10 years, and it'll be cool. But other than that, you know, I'm really looking forward to creating some new great moments with this band. People have to realize not only do we obviously do Hendrix stuff, but Dexter writes, and his songs sound as if Hendrix himself wrote these songs. So it's not just a tribute; it's also you know, an original act. And you know, people may not, you know, they might hear one of his originals and say, "Man, that's got to be one of those long lost Hendrix songs or something."
Yeah,
you know, and it's just amazing. So I'm really looking forward to digging in.
So you can hear the inspiration. Because I remember
clearly.
reading that you did
Clearly.
that you've done actual tribute shows, but that you were starting to write. So is it a combination of the two in your shows?
For me, it's kind of like a spiritual wave that just came about. It's like I grew up digging Hendrix, but I never knew that I would grow up and sound like him. It just kind of happened. Yeah.
What a dream!
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, how did you come up with your hyper spiritual amplified blues and explain the spiritual link to your music? You kind of helped me lead right into that next question.
Yeah.
Weird how that happens.
And knock 'em dead. Dexter.
Well, what I did actually is I just took a look at myself. You know what I'm saying? I like I like fast things. I like fast cars. I like fast guitar. I like it loud. Me being self-taught, my perseverance was in me feeling my music from the inside out. So that's where the spiritual part come in. The hyper, this fast thing. Amplified, I like it loud. And blues is bluesy all at the same time. So there you have it. Hyper spiritual.
The perfect reference to him liking it loud is, we have 4 Marshalls, 4 of the big boy Marshall, speakers, the stacks, and 2 amps. Now those 2 amps and those 4 Marshalls were enough that at Comfest they actually turned him off on their system, and he ran solely on his own amp. Midway through the show, they were having trouble because he kept blowing up their board. I was out in the crowd and back and forth between the board, and he kept blowing them out. And this is something that I've seen a lot of times at a lot of different places where they try and mic him. You can't do it. He's loud enough on his own. I mean, to be able to take 4 Marshalls and 2 amps like that and rock all of Goodale Park, I mean, to where you could hear him across the park, just on his own equipment, no miking, no nothing. It's an amazing thing, and it's a truly wonderful thing to see live. And y'all get a taste tonight. I've like I said, 4 years I've been going to almost every show. It's only getting better from here.
Well, speaking of which, that leads into the next question.